Very Branch here, same discussions on Strike 7 Sports. I am back with another mock draft. This time it is a New Orleans Saints 2023 NFL 7 round mock draft 2.0. Now, the first mock draft we did, 7 round mock we did, was on the Strike 7 Sports website. Prior to that, we did a 5 round mock draft on YouTube. I believe it was last month we did a 5 round mock on YouTube, and prior to that, it was a 4 round mock on the Strike Seven Sports website. But this mock will be on the and the final one 3.0 is going to be on the Strike Seven Sports website. We go into this first mock, this first 7 round, the second 7 round mock on YouTube. We're gonna just recap the first 7 round mock we did on the Strike Seven Sports website. Recap it off. We had Darnell Washington, the tight end, first round. Second round, we went Keon White, edge, Tech. Third round, we went Siaki Ika out of Baylor, defensive tackle. Fourth round, Kenny McIntosh. Fifth round, Michael Wilson out of Stanford. Fifth round again, second pick in the fifth round, we got Jalen Graham, a linebacker out of Purdue. Seventh round, we went Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. The second 7 round pick, an offensive tackle out of Baylor. So these are the picks we came up with in the first 7 round mock draft we did on the Strike Seven Sports website. I did it off of the based around the Pro Football Network's mock draft simulator. I just think it's the better way. It's the better way of doing it to me. It's more engaging. It's better than putting guys that you want in those slots instead of it's better to do it that way instead of putting guys that you want in those slots. Put players in those positions based on what the simulators give you. So we had a lot of fun doing that in the first mock draft. If you want to check that one out, the full breakdown on it, just go to strike7sports.com/Saints and you'll be taken to that page. The first round at 29, I got the Saints taking Kalijah Cansey out of the University of Pittsburgh, Pitt Panthers. I've been hearing a lot about this guy. A lot of his name comes up a lot when you talk about in Saints circles when you're talking about where the Saints might go in that first round, that first pick at 29. And a lot of people have Kalijah Cansey on that list at 29. Now, based on what I've seen, the footage of him, his scouting report, I can understand why people kind of comparing him to Aaron Donald. I believe Aaron Donald's a bit undersized, got it with his on his measurements, um, can make plays from the defensive tackle position from the inside, pull up a lot of numbers, and when you pull up Cansey's scouting report, his tape, his footage, highlights, and all that, I can see the comparisons. But for me, I'm gonna hold off on that till he plays a down in the NFL, a couple of downs. But this guy looks really good, man. Looks really good as a defensive tackle, and he's not a traditional. He's not built like a traditional defensive tackle. He's just not. He's not, 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", 320 pounds. He's not built like that. He's not a big whopper. He's a little on the slimmer side. Aggressive like Aaron Donald. Can move around, and I like the footage, man. I like his motor. And from based on the stats I've seen, he's recorded 14 sacks in 2 seasons at that position, at the defensive tackle position. So he had 7 this year and 7 last season. So that whenever you can get production out of that defensive tackle position, you get a guy that can pick up, 6, 8, shoot even 12 sacks. That's a game changer for your defense. because it's rare that you start to see it a little. You start to see it a little more now with that for the defensive tackle position, but you usually don't. Guys putting up 10 sacks, 12 sacks, 8 sacks coming from the interior. You just don't, because that position is traditionally built to stop the run, to push the pocket. But now the way it is now, they want guys on the D line to be hybrids, man. They want them to to play against the run and come against stop the pass in certain situations, you know. And despite his size, he fits that Saints mold though. I think the Saints would take a player like this, based on what he can do, get after the quarterback, and they need, I know they signed Nathan Shepard and Kalen Saunders from the Chiefs, but this guy, he comes in your lap at 29. You gotta make the move to pick him, to get him up to pick him. So just go ahead and just read this quick summary on the scouting report from CBS Sports. Kalijah Kancey is a short, undersized, electric, upfield rusher. If he has any space, look out. He's ultra twitchy and can sustain speed once he's in the backfield. His arm over swipe and rip are locked and loaded in the pass rush move arsenal. On the first step eruption to win against half a blocker. At times his style takes him out of the play, can even open up a big rushing lane. Losses are mostly to bigger maulers and can be ugly. He constantly battles, even if he loses initially. He will fight to make the most of the rep. Length is a clear issue, but his power is deceptive because of a low center of gravity. Corners are super quick. For teams looking for a pure one gap penetrator and is not too concerned with size deficiency, this is the premier prospect to target in the class. So, that being said, man, you know, is this something the Saints can fix at the professional level? I mean, on his size, that you really can't do nothing about that height, man. That's just what it is right there. Will the Saints, not worry about this? I think they would. You know, that's one player that's an extra player that you have that could put up sack numbers to go along with a Cam Jordan that could put some pressure on Peyton Turner, who has yet to stay healthy. You know, so that'd be great if you can take Kalijah Kancey at 29, despite the deficiencies that I see. But they say this guy's a long-term starter, man. Despite all of that, you know what I'm saying? And I saw one mock draft where they got Kancey going at number 9 in Chicago. So they have, I think this is from CBSSports.com, their NFL page. So he could go that high in the draft, or he could be in the mid-20s, or possibly fall 29. If the Saints covered him that much, don't be surprised if they move up in the draft for him. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't put nothing past the Saints, especially after what they did last year. So we'll see everything play out. But I got Kalijah Kancey at 29 in the first round. All right. Felix, um, Felix Anudike. I'm probably messing that up. Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I'm gonna just call him Felix Uzomah out of Kansas State. So, second round, pick 40. So with this guy, you know, people, have always mentioned constantly that the Saints need to find another edge guy, a guy that can possibly take over for Cam Jordan. And I believe this is the guy that can do that. I believe he can. He fits the mold. I believe at 6'5". He's 6'5". Um, 200 respect. He's like only 220 pounds. But this guy, man, can play from based on what I've seen. Yeah, 255. My bad, not 220. 6'4", 255. So he fits that mold of what the Saints are looking for in a defensive end that can play on the run, that can play in the inside and go after the quarterback. He fits that mold. Long guy, long arms, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 265 pounds, 250, in that range, in that ballpark. That's what the Saints look for. If you have not noticed by now, that's what they want to have. That's the type of player they're looking for in that position. So Felix Anudike-Uzomah is that guy because he was available in that second round when I did this mock draft, and I just felt like he was the best at the position. So the Saints come away with um Kalijah Kancey in the first round, Felix Uzomah in the second round. Now in his last year, in 2021, he had 11 and a half sacks at K-State. 11 and a half. This year, it went down to 5. It is what it is. You know, he's a 3-star prospect coming out of 3-star talent coming out of high school. Played in Kansas, the state of Missouri. Went to K-State. Pretty much his entire career has been in that region. You know, but the Saints. This will be a great find right here for the Saints. Um, he's one of the top, based on what I've seen, what I've read. He's one of the top. He's in the top 10 of the top edge rushers in the draft. So I mean, you can get a guy like this, man, to on your defensive line to go along with a Cam Jordan, Kalijah Kancey if they do grab him, um, Nathan Shepard, Kalen Saunders. You got a formidable defense, man, in the future going forward. You know, he had he had a 6 sacks. Yeah, yeah, 6 sacks, a 6 sack performance against TCU. Um, that was last year when it was 6 sacks, total out to be his 11, which was his career best while at K State. But you can do this at the next level, man. Shoot, man. Saints got a talent right here, man. And you're not paying him no money. You're not paying him nothing right now. But I think this would be the pick right here. If he was still on the board in that second round, I believe this would be the guy. Now, mind you, that the monster I've read on him on Uzomah is that he's going to go to Kansas City at 31. So would the Saints pass on him, and let and grab Kalijah Kancey instead? That's something to think about. Or they might pass on Kancey in that first round and take Uzomah the first and Kancey in the second. That'd be a slam dunk, man. That'd be great. You can grab a guy like this, man. You can grab a guy like this, it would be great. You know what I'm saying? Because he turns out to produce, it'd be great because you had your guy for the future, man. Your next defensive tackle for the next 8 to 10 years, 8 to 12 years. So I got Felix Uzomah at um pick excuse me, pick 40. Got a guy that a lot of people have not really talked about when it comes to the running backs in this year's draft, but he's right up there with everybody else, and that's Zach Evans out of Mississippi, Ole Miss, the Rebels. Now, we usually hear right now, like the last 2 months or so, when they're talking about top running backs in this year's draft, everybody, of course, talks about B. John Robinson, If it's not Bijan Robinson, it's Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. Both talents are great in what they do. But Zach Evans is right up there with those guys, along with Kenny McIntosh. If you really look at it, you really pay attention to it, all four of those backs, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Zach Evans, Kenny McIntosh, pretty much all got the same skill set. I think Bijan has the more power out of the four that I just mentioned. It could do a little more, but Zach Evans is right up there with those guys. Now, what I've seen out of him at Ole Miss, his scouting report, his numbers, he was a five-star recruit at TCU coming out of high school. Ran for over 5,000 yards, and I think he came from Texas, state of Texas, over 5,000 career yards in high school. Transfer, got in the portal, went to Ole Miss. He had a solid year, man. He didn't get 1,000 yards, but he had over 936 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. Now, I believe if he had to come to the Saints, they will get more out of him. They will get more out of him, a lot more out of him as a wide receiver, similar to Alvin Kamara. At Ole Miss, they didn't use him a lot in that aspect, but he caught, I believe, 30 something, 33 balls, 33 catches for like 119 yards, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that, but they did throw him the ball at Ole Miss, but just not a lot. Not like they did in Alabama with Jahmyr Gibbs, or they did at Georgia with Kenny McIntosh or Bijan Robinson, you know. But he can be effective in that passing game. He has, and what I've seen from him at Ole Miss is that they use him a lot in the goal line, in goal line situations, red zone situations. He can break it off, we've given opportunity to. He don't have the footwork, the similar footwork like Alvin Kamara, but he's explosive. He can make big plays. So it makes a lot of sense to grab a running back in this draft. I know a lot of people are saying that they don't think the Saints should get a back because they got Jamal Williams and they got Jamal Williams just in case Alvin Kamara gets suspended. But the thing is, Jamal Williams turns 28. Alvin Kamara will be 28 this upcoming season. So you don't want, if Kamara is suspended, you don't want to throw the entire load on Jamal Williams to carry the team if you have to. You want to change the pace back in there that can keep Jamal Williams fresh and let Jamal Williams do what he does best as a running back with his team. So Zach Evans will fit that bill, and he can do similar things like an Alvin Kamara, because I think there's a lot of elements to his game that we didn't see at Ole Miss under Lane Kiffin that maybe Pete Carmichael can bring out of him. Derek Carr is no stranger to working with good running backs. He had one down in Las Vegas with Josh Jacobs. So this would be a nice weapon for the Saints. Zach Evans. It makes a lot of sense. And Kamara's deal, I think that's another year or two on that deal. And this would give the Saints a head start on that potential transition from Kamara to the new running back. So it makes a lot of sense for the Saints to take him back in the third round. So I got Zach Evans at pick 71, the third round. Boom. Tight end, Will Mallory out of the Miami Hurricanes, University of Miami. Will Mallory, it was between either Sam Laporta again or Will Mallory. So I decided I wanted to try something a little different. I've been a lot of mocks that I've done. Sam Laporta out of Iowa seems to always be available. But I kind of wanted to see what was behind Will Mallory, his scouting report, what can he do, his footage, his tape, all that other stuff. And from what I've seen on Will Mallory, it's impressive. He can be, he could go along with Jawan Johnson and be a nice receiver for the Saints to have, another receiver, because he's built like one, to be honest, from what I've seen. So Will Mallory would be an ideal pick for the Saints at number 7 and number what pick? I don't know what that 4 round pick number is, but I think it's 115 if I'm not mistaken. But Will Mallory makes a lot of sense for the Saints, man. And Derek Carr has a track record of working with tight ends, with really good tight ends, especially in receivers that are possession guys. You know, um, hopefully Michael Thomas can stay on the field this year and stay healthy, because if you have Michael Thomas healthy, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Jawan Johnson, Taysom Hill, the wild card, and this rookie right here, Will Mallory, I think you would have a really good offense, a really good passing offense compared to what you've had the past 2 seasons. And like I've said before, when this offense is at its peak, at its heights, its apex, they always featured a really good tight end. Jimmy Graham, Jeremy Shockey, shoot, Benjamin Watson. When even in the 7 and 9 years, when they had a top 5 offense, but couldn't really stop nobody, they had a really good tight end to go with it, to work with, to help out. You know. So I'm gonna read a little of his scouting report from the strengths standpoint from Pro Football Network. Will Mallory is a hard-working tight end with a solid game. Quickly gets off the snap into blocks, keeps his feet moving, stays square, does enough to disrupt opponents from the action as a blocker. Quickly releases off the line into pass routes and displays hand-and-eye coordination. Nicely adjusts to errant throw and reaches back to grab the ball from the air. Consistently extends to make the reception away from his frame. Competes to come away from the difficult grab and makes the catch in contorted positions. Ran well at the combine, put plays to one speed and lacks a burst on the field. So the weaknesses: plays to one speed and lacks a burst. Yeah, I did see that in his footage. Doesn't get much movement. Doesn't get much movement run. Doesn't get much move and run blocking. Drop a lot of passes during the Senior Bowl practices. Overall, Mallory was a consistent tight end in Miami for the past 4 years. He's effective in all aspects of the tight end position to be the third man on the depth chart at the next level. Doyle Mallory, that's great upside. All right, man. Like I said, scouting report is a scouting report. Now, players have always proved people wrong with these scouting reports. I'm pretty much there. They said something like this about Jawan Johnson. Because Jawan Johnson was a wide receiver coming out of college, and I believe he went undrafted, if I'm not mistaken, but turned into a tight end. But I think something about this guy, man. The coaching staff, um, who is hopefully we got the right guys in the building, not the right people in the building that can develop these players at the position, because this is crucial going forward. So I got Will Mallory at 115 in the 4th round. This is that second pick. This is that first of the 2 picks in the 5th round. We got from one of those picks we got from Philadelphia, but this is the Saints pick right here. So I got him taking a quarterback in the 5th round, and from what I got, based on what I got in the mock simulator, I decided to go with DTR, former UCLA Bruin quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Now this guy, he has been getting a lot of. I've been hearing that he's been visiting a lot of teams lately on his for this see what he's about for the upcoming draft. I believe he went and visited the Saints a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but I think I've heard that before. Heard it that he visited the Saints. But this is a quarterback that I like, man. I really like. I would real excuse me. Be a part of the Saints offense. Down the road. I believe he can be a guy that the Saints develop. He can just sit back, learn the ins and outs of the system, um, what it's like to be a quarterback in the Saints system, and just be a backup guy, somebody that you can develop beyond this season. He could become a starter, the same starter in the future. We don't know because right now you got Derek Carr in the contract. He's your guy for the next 3 years, 3 to 4 years. That's if everything works out. He's your guy right now. He's your permanent starter. And Jameis Winston is only under contract for this season. We don't know where he's gonna go after this season, after this year, after 2023. He may have aspirations to be a starter again. He still does have those aspirations, but for this season, he's decided to stay put. That may become an opportunity for him. So it's better to have somebody being groomed behind Carr, you know what I'm saying, so that he can come in and step in and contribute. And that way, the offense ain't looking like something we never seen before because we got in that play at the quarterback position, you know. And this guy can do a lot, man. He's really good at working the short to intermediate passing game. He can arm. He has a nice arm. Can get out of the pocket. Great mobility. Can make plays on the run. Uh, run the read option. Nice in the goal line situations. He has it all. A slightly undersized, but playing in a dome environment, get a lot out of his skill set of what he can do as a quarterback. He can extend plays, kind of similar to Lamar Jackson. You know, doesn't run as much, but he is mobile. The dude is mobile from what I see. So similar to the running back position, it does makes a lot of sense for the Saints to take a quarterback in this draft. It does. If Hen Hooker is not there, I like this guy, Dorian Thompson Robinson, man. I really do, man. You know, guy that they can, like I said, they can develop in this upcoming season. You know, let him sit and watch under Jameis Winston. Guys like a Derek Carr soak up everything and groom him to take over to be the backup for next season. If for 2024, that's if Jameis doesn't come back. You know, because you're gonna need somebody to take over eventually because Derek Carr is 32 right now, and you're probably gonna get, if everything works out, I would say 4 to 5 years of really good play out of Derek Carr before the arm starts to decline, starts to wear down. So it makes sense to having a guy ready to take over, ready to come in for injuries or whatever during that time. So got Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR out of UCLA with the Saints' first pick in the fifth round. Got, in the fifth round, I got Rashad Torrance out of the University of Florida. This guy is a safety, and based on what I see from him, the scouting report and all that, he's kind of built like a CD Deuce. CD Deuce traits off the field and all that. See, he doesn't have that personality like him, but On the field, plays just like CD, man. Really good against the run. Get after the quarterback. Can play in the slot. Shed players, shed opposing wide receivers down. He can do it all in that position. And I think when you got, I believe Marcus Way is Tyron Matthews up in his 30s. Played really well down the stretch, but who knows how long he has left. Hopefully, he can give us something this season. I believe Marcus May is on a going to be a free agent after this season. I'm not sure, but safety is another position that they need to have somebody come in at somebody a little younger to play at. You know what I'm saying? Um, this dude is really good against the run, and he could play in that PJ Williams type role or that CD Deuce role. He could be that put him on special teams. He could be a backup, come in whenever somebody gets hurt. Because one thing about the Saints, man, and the defense, especially on defense, I don't care. I've said this before, but I don't care when you was drafted, fifth round, fourth round, third round, undrafted player, undrafted FA, undrafted free agent. At some point, you're gonna see some time on the field. That's just what it is, based on players getting hurt. Are this undrafted players or just um later round picks or undrafted players just showing a lot during training camp and OTAs that they become starters. They become true contributors, and the Saints do that a lot. Tend to do that a lot with players, especially on defense. You know, Chauncey Gardner Johnson was a fourth round pick. I believe David Onyemata was a fourth round pick. Them guys became starters. You know, so and I think Trey Henderson was I think Trey Henderson was a third round pick. I'm not was a fourth or fifth round pick, and all of them guys became starters. So I like Rashad Torrance. I like the Saints taking Rashad Torrance in the spot if he's available, because he can do this based on what I've seen in the scouting report. He can do those things similar to what a CD Deuce can do. Oh, oh, you know. So second overall, the second pick in the fifth round, I got the Saints taking Rashad Torrance out of Florida. All right, hold on. Round. Well, not that I've done have a sixth round pick, but seventh round, got him taking Earl Bostick, offensive tackle out of Kansas, University of Kansas. This guy could be utilized as if not, put him on a practice squad, let him develop, and if the Saints have ever come down with injuries to the offensive line, you can insert this guy into the position, and hopefully he can come in and contribute. And you may find something in this guy at a discounted rate, because you're not going to be paying him for the next couple of years at offensive tackle. So Earl Bostick at a seventh round pick coming for the Saints. All right. Dallas Daniels out of Jackson State University, seventh round pick. If any of y'all followed HBCU football, watched Jackson State play last year under Coach Prime, Dallas Daniels was a guy that really showed out, and he's not the he's not a big physical receiver, but he can do some things. He can do some things that I like that will really help this offense out. He's 5'11", if I'm not mistaken, 5'11", 6'1". Um, they use him a lot in the slot with Jackson State. I like what I've seen on the footage I saw of him, and I think he would be another player that could be, you can put him on the practice squad or put him on special teams, put him on the kick. Well, not I want to say, well, I wouldn't say kickoff, but he could be that extra receiver that you have on your roster. That when somebody goes down, you know, you can put him in that role because he's really good in the slot based on what I've seen. You know, could do a little work on the outside, but the way him was on the slot in the slot position. You know, and at the same like the Saints always every year, this team until they get it figured out, they get it figured out. Going forward, they continue to you know what I'm saying. They continue to deal with players getting hurt, good players getting hurt during the season, regular season, and then, having the guys that could come in and contribute. You know, but Dallas Daniels, I like Dallas Daniels at this spot, man. At Jackson State, from Jackson State, man. Really good receiver. I believe he had over 600 yards receiving at Jackson State. Um, 6 touchdowns, 69 touchdowns, I believe. Solid player, work hard. Um, guy that could be used in his offense if given the opportunity to contribute. I believe he would do well. You know what I'm saying? But I like him at this position at this spot. So 7th round, I got the Saints taking Dallas Daniels. All right, and with that being said, this concludes my 7th round mock, New Orleans Saints 7th round mock 2.0 for the for YouTube 7th round mock. We address the defensive tackle and defensive end position, the first two picks by taking Kalajdzic in the 1st round and Felix Uzomah in the 2nd round. 3rd round, we went with Zach Evans at running back. 4th round, Will Mallory at tight end. 5th round, DTR Dorian Thompson-Robinson. That 5th round pick, we had Rashad Torrance. 7th round, we got the offensive tackle out of Baylor, not Baylor, but Kansas, Earl Bostick, and it's the last pick, Dallas Daniels. So that's what I have for right now. And the next mock I do will be the final one. That should be out by next week. It'll be 3.0, which will be on the Strike 7 Sports New Orleans Saints page. Final round, final mock, and I'll be playing with the simulator once again. And I might flip flop it and go edge in the 1st round. Depends on which players are available. Go edge the 1st round. Defensive tackle in the 2nd round. Um, might do tight end in the 3rd round or running back. Don't matter. It does. Depends on best player available at those positions. So we'll see how it plays out. But that's all I have for y'all for tonight, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel about this mock that I did. Was it terrible? Was it okay? Was it just right? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Be on the lookout for latest updates. And also check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the New Orleans Saints organization. Have a blessed day. I'm out. Peace. Who dat?